All right, I am back. I pray that you really will take notes and think about these empty fulfillments that I talked a little bit briefly about. I told you about the book Men Who Date and Marry Tired and Untried Women, but this also reflects women as well. I want you to think about this is an ebook, so you can just read it online. But listen to me. I want you to think about yourself. I want you to think about your esteem, where it is right now in this relationship. Or you think about your longing to have, to know, and to be a part of your family, to be connected to your loved ones. And I think that many of you are in this sin mode because of that, because you never got a chance to have that nurturing. And so you have this unfulfilled type of relationship that you have tolerated way too long. This is why a lot of you men marry Jezebelic women, and a lot of you women marry Ahabs, and vice versa. You get with narcissistic relationships because you do not assess these areas that I was talking about earlier on about the family matters, about the root of the matter. Why would you want to try to get with someone who's Catholic and know you Baptist? Why you want to try to get in business with someone who's a Muslim and you Baptist? Why do we do these things? Why do we find ourselves allowing our flesh to dictate to us? And that's because we have this part of us, which is called sin, that has never been nurtured. And these are some areas that we find ourselves getting really messed up about. And so that's why I feel it's very important you get that book, that E7, talking about the attachments. I think it's important that you consider that. And I want to jump back into this message as I was talking about these areas about why that sin affects so many men today. And they wind up with these women and they're killing these women. And women now are buying them guns and killing them because of their sin. Their childhood emotional neglect and then been abandoned and been abused and raped by men and treated bad and been, raped and incested by their own siblings. And, parents didn't do anything about it. Hello, I'm one of them. I think God want us to realize that forgiveness is the key, but it has to be processed. And this is the reason why the sin overtakes us. And this is the reason why you long to have that. You want somebody to guide you. You want somebody to provide for you. And this is why women are taking care of men. And then, but they're desperate. They want to prove themselves. And men want to prove themselves that I can be a man. But at the same time, they have this neglected part of them, this adult child that wants to be awakened with the nurturing of a mother and vice versa. These women want their daddy. Listen, when you feel this adult child, excuse me, begin to be awakened, and that means now you're angry, it's because now you feel like you've lost control and they're trying to control you. When in actuality, you was controlled by the mesmerization of the sex and the things that the enemy used anyway, was your flesh. You was in this trap where you used to be, and that is in this comfort zone. And God is trying to get you to see you got to quit punishing yourself for it and recognize the fact that no matter what circumstances, that don't mean you have to be in this settled place of complacency that you're not good enough or feeling that they not good enough. But what it is, you both need to get some help. You deserve to be capable of a whole lot more. If you will look at sin, look at your childhood emotional trauma that caused you to be there. Now, again, I might not be able to get into all of this, but I'm gonna do my very best to share as much as I possibly can while I'm here. But I want you to know that when you feel that you have been really, just squeezed so bad by this controlling woman or this man who's narcissistic or this situation that looks like everybody in your family or someone that you're close to in business or whatever in the church house, you feel like now I'm just trapped. And you feel depleted. You feel like you don't have no voice. You feel like that you just somebody that's a yes man or a yes woman or that you just step it and fetch it. You're there where it looks like all you get is a whole bunch of this thing that's causing you to feel like that this is something that's suffocating your real voice. And you already know it is. So that child that never got that opportunity to feel the nurturing, to understand how to express my stomach hurt, my head hurt, that hurt my feelings, and I don't understand, mommy. Why did I get a whooping? You're not able to express anything. You just shut up and be quiet. So now you're receiving this from this woman or this man that you feel that is healthy when it's not. It's something that you lack in this sin area. That means you wanted your childhood emotional thing to get healed. it has been neglected, but now you're mad because you're with this person and this emotion is being suffocated. And so you think that your fulfillment is there, but it's empty. I know I'm talking to you. It's not a healthy mothering. It is an entitlement that you feel like you have from this relationship because with all you putting out, but you're not getting anything back because your emotions are being suffocated. So your brain automatically kicks in. It starts to block the fact that you just had a good sexual encounter with your wife or with your date or whatever you want to call it, or your sex partner, they call them today. But whatever that is, it's trying to prevent you from dealing with the burden of yourself, of your neglect from your parents. But you're there with this relationship and you're not being fulfilled. That's why we got so many divorces and so much violence today. Because these women, when they stop taking care of that person who's trapped in this sin, this deep down lack of feeling that they're not enough, or this difficulty that they're having to try to feel, how can I make things better on this deep level? You haven't got these other areas met that I talked about a few minutes ago. You tend to begin to even think about whatever you thinking or whatever you got to say. It's not going to matter no way. That's the reason why you do it for peace sake. Or you just gone on and do it, whatever it is, because you don't want to keep trying to get them to understand your emotions because you've been shut down all your life anyway. So that Jezebelic wife is controlling you. You become weak. That's why you need to get that book about these men who are with these women that they're still tied up in their own sin, who's tied up and their souls are still got residue. We all got some kind of residue that we fighting anyway. Okay. Because remember, the heart's desperately wicked. All right. And so that's why we got to pray Psalms 139, 23, and 24. Verse 23, 24. Search me, oh God, because you know my heart, and you want him to move those anxious thoughts, those things that's causing you to be so full of rejection and full of fear of failure and fear that they're going to know what's going on with you. I know I'm talking to you. I want to share this really, really quick. I'm praying I can within these 2 minutes. I want you to stop trying to punish yourself. Quit feeling that because you've made this mistake, that this is something that you want to just dance around with because you feel like it's going to be something good for you to get along with. The devil is crazy. I want you to consider the things that I said earlier on about these first impressions that you've given yourself to be okay with. It's not okay. It's not okay. You're going to have to realize your self-actualization, your safety, your mindset, your longing, the love that you desire to have that is going to give fulfilling, not emptiness. Deal with your sin, your childhood emotional neglect. And when you do that, you'll be able to be stronger and, more bolder. You'll be able to check the body miles. You'll check the bloodline. You'll check to see where they are emotionally and where they're strong at. You'll think about what you thought about when you met them, what it is that you're doing. What is your strength? What is your weaknesses? Okay, that's what our hearts are saying to us. So let me get ready to get off here because I want to share this one last thing before I get ready to go. I want you to know God is talking to you before the new year. I want you to think about and consider your impressions. What are you feeling about yourself? The thing that's missing from you. What are you feeling about this sin relationship that's empty? And you're trying to fulfill it in sex. You're trying to fulfill it in dating. And that when it's fit to get down on that one knee, you better listen to what I'm saying to you. And somebody need to tell them, send them this tape. Most of us, we spend all our hours in pain and nobody knows that you're in pain because of this sin. God is talking to you before the new year. These impressions are very costly. What you see and you ignore. So we need to think about doing spiritual judgment, thinking about the memories and the things that you feel like you denied yourself of about what I talked about earlier on. You need to bear in mind what I said early on. The spirit of a man shall sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit who can bear? I want you to think ahead. Okay, not think backwards of the things that is old, but think ahead. You learn about your companions. You learn about and be true to yourself and your character. I mean, your heart. Say it like this, and I got to go. Pleasure is the flower that passes. But remember, it is also the lasting perfume. I got to go. I pray that God will help you for this new year, Father, in the name of Jesus. Help them to examine their hearts. Help them to see that you know the very thought and intent. Help us to operate out of your spirit and reveal truth to us about our pain and about our secrets for transformation. In Jesus' name. Love you. Have a good week. And please share this message.